Last night, voters in Chicago gave Mayor Lori Lightfoot the boot, bringing her tumultuous, crime-plagued tenure to a close after just one term. Lightfoot is the first Chicago mayor in 40 years not to win a second term in office. She conceded last night after finishing a distant third in the Windy City's primary behind Paul Vallas and Brandon Johnson in the 9-candidate race. Vallas, a moderate Democrat, was the top vote getter in a field by a significant margin. But since he didn't receive more than 50% of the vote, he will square off now against Johnson in a runoff in April. Lightfoot finished with just over 17%. That is a stunningly small slice of the vote for an incumbent. It's a type of emphatic rejection from the voters that indicates a failed tenure. But instead of reflecting on why she was defeated so soundly, Lightfoot has been trotting out both the race and gender cards. Last night, following her concession speech, a reporter asked her if she'd been treated unfairly. And Lightfoot replied, quote, "I'm a black woman in America. Of course." Yes, Lori Lightfoot believes that her race and her gender are why she did not win a second term, or at least that's what she's saying publicly. And it wasn't just that one-off comment. Lightfoot has been laying the groundwork for this argument for days. In a recent interview with The New Yorker, the mayor said, quote, "I'm a black woman, and let's not forget some folks, frankly, don't support us in leadership roles." Of course, enough folks supported her in 2019 to become mayor of Chicago, in a city that's roughly 1/3 white. But that's all just ancient history, I guess. She told Politico on Monday, the day before the election, in reference to the previous Chicago mayor, Rahm Emanuel, quote, "I remember Rahm Emanuel appearing on the cover of Time magazine. The headline was basically like, 'Tough guy for Chicago. No woman or woman of color is ever going to get that headline.'" Look, it's unclear if Lightfoot was deluding herself or trying to delude voters. There were many reasons why she lost, and they had nothing to do with her race. The dominant issue in the campaign was public safety. Crime in the city skyrocketed on Lightfoot's watch in all major categories, and a string of looting incidents rocked Chicago's famous shopping area, the Magnificent Mile. Overall, theft was up 37% over the past 3 years, murders up 39%, reaching numbers not seen in Chicago since the early 90s. Motor vehicle theft went up a staggering 139%. Now, Lightfoot tried half-heartedly to campaign on pro-police rhetoric, calling for more officers on the streets, but it rang hollow. Her relationship with the department so strained that officers turned their backs on her in August of 2021 when she visited the hospital in support of Officer Ella French, who was shot in the line of duty and later died. And the numbers reveal an exodus of officers during Lightfoot's tenure. A recent analysis showed more than 3,300 officers left the force while Lightfoot was mayor, and just 1,600 have joined during that same period. That left an opening for Paul Vallas, who won the backing of the city's police union, and many voters concerned about public safety ended up casting their ballots for him on Election Day. And her failed effort at trying to portray herself as pro-police also probably alienated her with the further left. Whatever the cause, it had nothing to do with her race or her gender, and I think it is dangerous to be peddling those sorts of excuses. Joining us now is Ameshia Cross. She's a Democratic political commentator who's worked in Chicago politics for more than 15 years. Thanks for coming back on the show. Appreciate it. What do you make of the mayor's comments that it's based on race and gender?
You know, this might surprise you, Dan, but I'm actually going to agree with you in part. The frustrating part for me as a black woman is watching another black woman blame her race and her gender for why she wasn't able to amass support across Chicago. First and foremost, last time I checked, Lori Lightfoot was a black woman when she ran the first time, and she was still able to win. It's also that she carried a lot of white Chicagoans during her first administration in terms of the vote. She got a lot of white support across the north side, across the northwest sides. Those people turned out in high number to support her. It was what she did when she was in office that caused her not to get reelected. This is someone who basically did an all-out assail on the Chicago Teachers Union and on teachers in Chicago. This is someone who didn't meet the needs of a community that was crying out for housing supports and rent that they could actually afford. This is someone who, when it came to public safety, and this is where I kind of disagree with you somewhat, when it came to public safety, the black communities that were affected the most, they felt as though not only did she not show up, she also drove to protect police officers who were accused of, and we saw video footage of them committing police brutality and excessive force cases.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.